punch in the circle. I'm thinking, what's their hurry? We just landed. So I punch them in. By then we go over to stable 2, the chutes come off, and we have to pump up our airbags and come up. So the message here is even though you're at the end of the mission, you better follow the checklist.
Well, that's great.
I'll end by saying, before landing, I talked with Scott. I was up on the space station with Scott Kelly, and so I had a lot of questions about what was the descent and landing going to be like in the Soyuz. And Scott, of course, had flown in the shuttle prior to doing the Soyuz, his previous Soyuz mission. And he had a great comparison. And he said that landing in the shuttle, and I didn't have the opportunity to do that, but Mike can attest to this, maybe, that landing in the shuttle was a lot like driving a Cadillac on a newly paved road. And that landing in the Soyuz was a lot like driving a VW off of a cliff. I agree with it. I mean, I agree with the last time. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I don't have much to add to that. I can't say anything about the space shuttle except that it was very smooth. It's interesting to me that I flew on Endeavour and Atlantis, and those two vehicles felt different during reentry to me. You know, they handled a little bit different, and we kind of knew that going in, that Atlantis had a little more burble or turbulent activity than Endeavour was a little smoother. But what I will say, and maybe you guys would agree to this, is when people ask me what's the launch like, I always say the space shuttle launch to me was kind of like being in a car wreck, because I've been rear-ended at a stop sign in my car before, and that's exactly what it felt like. You know, when those solid rocket boosters ignited on the space shuttle, you were going. I mean, you really got a kick in the backside. You know, we were laying down in our seats, and you felt it. So I always liken that to a car wreck, and maybe you guys would say the same thing about your
Ours was a
launch.
car wreck on the back end.
Yeah, you really wrecked it. It came back. Smoother launch.
Smoother percent, yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you all so much for coming and spending that time with us. I'd like you all to please thank our